Hey guys, Dan with Grit Overland. We finally got a really warm day. It's supposed to be like 92 degrees today. It's about 11 a.m. We're in our parking lot on an asphalt parking lot, and we're in a Link 148 all-wheel drive on the Ford Transit chassis. And we talk a lot about climate control. So we are going to do an actual experiment for you guys today, and you don't have to just take our word for it. There'll be a time-lapse camera. We're also going to show you the process by which we use the air conditioner, how we team that up with the Ford air conditioner, and how long this Lithionics Boss 302 battery pack will work, along with our solar and all of those things working in tandem, and you guys will get to see it for real. So go ahead and step on in here. We're gonna have a couple setups here. So on here you can see it is 92.1 degrees in the van, 92.8 degrees outside right now, and that thermostat is actually on the asphalt. And so we're going to have that reading continuously, and then the internal reading is here. And then we're also going to have a GoPro here that will be filming this the whole time, and that way you guys will get to see a snapshot of what the internal and external temps are doing here in the Pacific Northwest. We're stoked to have a nice hot day. To walk you through what's happening here, so what we've done is we ran the van for a little while, let it idle, and get it up to 100% is what the system is showing. So that's a 13.6 volts right now. While it's charging, it'll jump up to 14.2 in that range. And then once the charging stops, it'll settle down to 13.6 to 13.8 volts. You can see here, this is showing a measurement of PV charger. That's our solar panels. And you can see the energy moving right now. You might be able to hear it. It's really quiet. The compressor for the refrigerator is running, so I can hear that as well. We are treating this just how we would be using it. Refrigerator on. We're going to turn on the van to start with. Blast the AC in the dash, put up all of our window covers, turn on the fan and exhaust the hot air inside the van. We've let it heat up on purpose so we can do a real world test in here. So that's exactly what we would do. Put up the window covers, turn on the max fan, turn on the Ford so that we can blast that really powerful air conditioner and pre-cool the van. Then we'll turn the Ford off after maybe 5 or 10 minutes and just run this Dometic air conditioner on eco mode. So we know mathematically, right, as a test in a lab, this will run for 5 to 6 hours on one charge of the Boss 302. That's about 4,000 watt hours of battery storage. And it'll run for about 15 to 16 hours on eco mode. So we're going to put it on eco mode. We're going to see what the temperature actually does. And we want to show you guys that getting rid of the flares, doing our north-south bed, and cooling this thing right is actually super functional in hot weather. All right, stay tuned, and hope you enjoy this time lapse and all the video that comes with it, and then we'll do a wrap up at the end. So now what we're gonna do is I've put all the window covers up except for the slider door window cover. We'll put that up in just a second. We need the lighting to look good in here as everything has gotten dark. Go max AC here. And this is how we actually do this. We're gonna blast this AC, pre-cool the van, get it down to a comfort zone, and then we're gonna turn on our Dometic, or you can turn on your Dometic AC at the same time on eco mode. The beauty of it is you're getting this thing pre-cooled, and then that Dometic will keep this very comfortable. So we're cooling the van now. The max fan is still running to exhaust out all the hot air, and it's still warm back here. And I'm gonna turn on the air conditioner. One of the things I love about this Dometic AC, like everything in our vans that we've tried to do, just simplify, 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 make it an easy end user experience. And yeah, that's it. So it's on, right now it's on auto, so I'm gonna hit manual, or excuse me, menu, and then I'm going to switch through it and put it on eco mode. You can see right there, as you can hear, the AC is kicking on, and it's going to pre-cool and kick up really fast. That's why it's loud, and then it will calm down the fan here in a little bit as it's trying to catch up to the set temperature that I put on here of 62 degrees. I'm going to actually set it to about 67, and it will cool this van down and keep it cool along with the Ford AC even after we turn off the Ford. Temperature's already dropping, if you can see that. So indoors 91 degrees, outside 96 degrees as it's continued to go up. Okay guys, little update. So we've had the van Ford chassis air conditioner running for about 10 minutes. Still got the Dometic on power boost, which means, just as a clarification, when the van is idling, we don't need a high idle or anything. It's actually charging the battery as well. So we're having like a net zero charge. You can see, even though it's at 100%, the solar charging has kicked in as well as the alternator charging. And it's going, right now it's only showing 1.5 amps because the battery's at 100%. But as the energy's been going up and down, we're going to start from 100% because while we're idling, pre-cooling the van, we're also offsetting all the usage of this AC on boost. And as you can see here, it's actually gotten hotter outside. And I will throw this out there. I think that the temperature, the thermostat's not exactly perfect. It's probably realistically 92 outside. So it's off by 6 degrees maybe. But what I wanted to show mostly in this video is the gradient between the inside and the outside of the van when using our system. It's probably not 84 in here. It's probably about 75 inside the van right now, 77 maybe, but significantly cooler than outside. And I'm actually getting to the point where I'm starting to have a few like chills on the skin. So my guess is here in probably another 10 or 15 minutes, we'll shut the Ford off. I'll turn this down to eco, and it will maintain this temperature very well throughout the day. I'm gonna also put the bed down because most of us, if we're during the day, we're not always gonna cool our van if we're out hiking or biking or whatever, doing an activity. But really in the afternoon or evening or nighttime, if you're taking a nap, is when we're gonna run the AC over the top of the bed, or running it so that our pets, dogs, cats, can have a nice cool van while we're out on a couple-hour hike. So I'm going to throw the bed down as another piece of this and see how that changes and affects things. I'm actually glad I did that. Tyler behind the camera pointed out something really good, is there was heat sitting in the mattress because it had been in the really hot van. But when I put my hand up against the wall, because of all of the layers of insulation in the wall is nice and cool, but the mattress was actually holding heat into it. So I think that's going to make it actually big difference because it's now not having a source of heat that it has to fight all of that compressed foam to get rid of as we watch the temperature drop inside the van. Next development, we are ready to turn the Ford van off. We've pre-cooled this thing. It's been running for about 25 minutes or so, and this thing is totally cooled down. Dropping the bed down, just so you know, it makes a huge difference because now you're even giving another layer of, it's definitely a little warmer back there by the back of the van under the bed, but my guess is the vast majority of the time you're gonna be using the air conditioner, the bed's gonna be down anyway. It's actually 75 inside the van. I'm in shorts and just a thin shirt. It's actually a little cool in here. And the thing I wanna stress is, again, yes, temperature is important, but it's comfort zone. I am very comfortable in here. In fact, if I was laying in bed, I would probably throw a sheet or a blanket over me. It's a little too cold to sleep for me. To look at our actual thermostat, it shows 81. And so the thing I want to stress about that is you're in a van, it's still a metal box, it's not a house. The thermostats that are in these things are not as, in any van, are not as sensitive and good as what we're going to find in our houses. They're just not. So we always run off of comfort zone, and that's what we always talk about with our customers on delivery day is, hey, look, find your comfort zone number and then hit that number, and the van can do that. The reporting probe for that is right here. So it's a little bit higher up anyway, and that's part of why we might be seeing that difference. The next step of this is the van is pre-cooled, it's comfortable. I'm going to turn the van off and keep all of our window covers up. And I'm going to take this off of boost and I'm going to put it on eco mode just to maintain. And then that's the real experiment for the rest of the day, is see what that does throughout the day in real world usage for you guys. Energy wise, we're still at 100%. We're getting a very small charge from our solar, but really if you look at these blue lines, almost no energy is moving. We're pretty much just set right where we're at. So let's see what our usage looks like throughout the day. I'm super stoked on this experiment and to actually be sharing this with you guys on a video. Let's see, what time is it? 3:50 in the afternoon. The sun is absolutely blazing outside. It says temperature wise on the, our weather app that it is 96, feels like 100. Our thermostats say 106 for the outside temp. And it is, again, the van is parked on black asphalt outside of our shop in an industrial area because we wanted to really push the limits of this thing. It is hot outside. It's very hot outside. Tyler's been chilling in here doing filming and editing videos. It's hot enough that the GoPro on the outside of the van died within like an hour and a half this morning. It was way too hot for the camera battery. And so we've plugged that thing in and tried to put it into the shade and stuff to try and continue the test and showing the filming and the time lapse of that stuff. Real world experience right now. So it shows 87 in here. And what I'll say is it is a huge temperature swing, real world feel right now from outside. It is blazing hot outside. As you can see, my shoes, I got them tucked in. I was sweaty out there. And inside, it's a little warm, but tolerable. So comfortable. I will say what I did do is with it being over 100 outside, it's definitely pushing the limits of this little AC unit. It has been on eco all day long, and that's kept us at it was at 75%. And just a little bit ago, maybe 25 minutes, I turned it on to boost to re-cool the van down a little bit more to try and keep up with that 101 to 102 temp feel outside. So very comfortable on the bed, a little warm on the floor, but I would definitely let my dog Chad hang out in here and he would be fine for sure. But yeah, I think this is a great example, a real world test. Real world for me, my actual thoughts. You guys know I'm a straight shooter. I'll tell you black and white if the AC is going to keep up or not. For us, it's not just about selling vans. We want you to have the real world experience that we've designed. What would I do if I was in, 85 plus degree temps all the time? I would double my solar, which is already plumbed into the van, and I would double the battery bank, because then I could run this AC unit on boost for a lot longer, and that will get you through the middle hours of the day. So if you're going to be in areas that you're over 90 degrees frequently, I would recommend the upgrade of the second battery bank, adding 4,000 watt hours, so you're a total of about 8,000 watt hours, and add the second solar, so you go from 180 watts of solar to 360 watts of solar, which will offset a lot more of the AC use as well. This still is very effective. It's offset a bunch, almost completely the eco. But that's my real world thought on all of these things, my thoughts on this stuff. We're going to continue the test and then run this thing all the way until we have to leave at about 5:20, 5:30-ish, and then we'll shut everything down. But I think what we've seen is we're at 71% and we were at 75% on eco mode. So eco mode actually will keep the van tolerable. It won't drop the temperature. I would say in 101 degree temps, eco mode is just maintaining, but still going temperature up, climbing little by little. Throwing it on boost is starting to bring the temperature in the van back down. So there's my thoughts on it. Take that information. If you guys have questions, throw your questions in the comments section and we can give more information on this. So we're doing our wrap up. It is just after 5 p.m. Obviously the heat of the day is over, but it's still pretty warm outside. 83.5 degrees inside, 111 degrees outside. It is not 83 degrees in here. So the thermostats are off a little bit, but what I wanted to see as far as what the actual temperature is, I would say it's probably 73 in here. It's very comfortable of actual real temperature. On the bed, it's super comfortable, easily to sleep in this thing, take an afternoon nap, no problem. It is super hot outside at 5 p.m. now. This is about a 27.5 to 28 degree temperature swing. And this is what I really wanted to show with this test that I knew would happen. And again, knew and believed and hoped would happen so that we could actually show you on camera to show you the value of what we've done with climate control. When we left at the last update, it was a little warm in here in the middle of the day, like 3 o'clock-ish. And I had turned the AC unit onto boost, and that was on for a while like that. It's now switched itself to auto, and it's blowing. We've just had it set at 62 degrees, which is the low on the AC unit all day. And the first half of the day, we had it running on eco. Then we turned it on boost to help give a boost throughout that hot part of the day. And now back to auto. So it is currently pulling 500, it's actually pulling 664 watts into the DC system. It's a 12 volt air conditioner. It's being offset with 78 watts of solar. It's getting late in the day. We're getting even less solar. But that is a net of 581 watts being pulled from the battery. Here's the beauty of this. That's 54% or 13 volts. This system works great. And the foundation of this system is the same thing that I always harp on. It's the insulation in the walls. So you can put your hand on here and it is not hot. It's slightly warmer on this side. Again, the sun's been pounding down on this. That is the southwest side of the building. So it's been getting hit all day long with that the southern exposure sun like we have in the Pacific Northwest. This wall, cold to the touch. So I hope this illustrates to you guys what we've done with that huge of a swing. Really what the tests in a lab have done is like a 22 degree temp swing. And we're seeing even larger than that with all of the insulation that's in this van. Very comfortable, very doable for pets, very doable for people. And most of the time, we're all not going to be parking in a black asphalt parking lot. We're going to go find a shady place, or we're going to be on grass or in the woods or something like that in the mountains in a beautiful area. So if you guys have questions, comments, please throw them in the comments section. We're more than happy to address anything or elaborate further on anything that we saw. And again, the biggest thing to us is not painting a picture that doesn't exist. We want you to see what the real world scenario is. Is it perfect temperature in here? No. Is it a drastic difference from the outside? Yes, absolutely. So if you now imagine this, we're chasing a little cooler temps and it's 90 degrees. This is going to be more than adequate. We're going to be down below 70 degrees in that space. And that is very, very safe and very, very comfortable for humans and pets to function inside this van. And at no point during the day did we turn the Ford air conditioner back on. We simply ran this little Dometic air conditioner. We've got about 50% of our battery life left. And realistically, if we do the math on it, that is about 50% of the battery. So that's about 2,000 watt hours. The van can push up to 3,000 watts in an hour. And so really we could have that battery totally recharged in about 60 minutes or less of just the van idling, not even driving. We hope that you gained something from this. We definitely did. We learned a little bit more about the temperature gradients and what's effective in here and what's not effective, and even just, folding down the bed and seeing that there was warm air trapped inside the layers of the mattress, and seeing how much better that worked to cool the van off. You guys, we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys and gives you more information.